Olivia, I've had your university acceptance with John. I'll have you work after high school.
With John? Why? You promised me that if I was accepted, I could go on to university, didn't you?
I told you that if you get accepted to Harvard, you'd go on to university to make you give up. I never thought you'd actually get in. I was never intending for you to go on to university. That's why I asked them to withdraw your acceptance.
You're kidding. I can't believe you didn't intend to send me to university in the first place.
Who's going to support this family if you go to university? You're a valuable asset to our family.
What?
We are a poor single mother family. Your father died in an accident, and since we didn't have insurance, our finances are difficult. I can't possibly raise a child on my own.
That's why I'm working as much as I can. I chose a public high school so that it would cost as little as possible. I plan to go to university on a scholarship as well. I'm not going to burden you at all.
Shut up. University is just a bunch of drinking and partying. I won't let you be the only one having fun. I don't want to be the only one suffering.
What?
I never wanted to work in the first place. That's why I married your father, who was running a small business. I can't believe that in the blink of an eye, I went from a housewife to a poor single mother. I don't want to work anymore. So from now on, you're going to have to work to support me.
I'm going to support you?
I've been working hard as a single mother all this time. It's time for me to be free. That's why you don't have time to go to university. Get a job right after high school and support me and your sister.
Oh no!
Harper is still in middle school. Her tuition fees are still high. I want her to go to the high school and university of her choice as much as possible. For that you have to work hard. I'm going to ask you to pay for all of her school fees.
What? Wait a minute. You're going to let Harper go to the high school and university of her choice? I was told that I can only go to public high school and university. Even though I got accepted, you withdrew my acceptance.
Because I love Harper. Unlike you, she's special.
Unlike me.
You're just like your father and it pisses me off. I loved him when he was alive because he had money, but now I hate him because he died on his own and gave me a hard time. I hate you because you're just like him.
Is that why you hate me so much? I knew you were cold to me, but I never thought it was for that reason.
Your sister Harper, on the other hand, looks just like me when I was younger, like an angel. With her cuteness, I'm sure she'll marry a rich man. But in order to do that, she needs to get to know rich people. So she'll have to go to a good high school and a good university, even if it costs a lot of money.
And I'm supposed to pay for it? I wanted to go to university too. You want me to put up with that and work for my sister?
Harper is your little sister, right? It's what a sister does for her. Stop complaining and go find a job. Your memorial exams are over.
I was serious about this. You said you would only accept me to go to university if I got accepted from Harvard University, so I worked really hard. I didn't even rely on cram school. It's terrible.
You've got to be kidding me. You're the one who's terrible.
What?
You shouldn't have chosen to go to school yourself. You should say, I'll work for you. But you don't even try to repay your parents. Now get a job.
Sis, did you see the picture I just took? Isn't that high brand bag amazing? I bought it with my summer bonus. Of course I saw it. It's amazing that you can afford such an expensive one.
Because unlike you, I'm a university graduate. How do you like that? Aren't you jealous? You can't afford this kind of thing, can you?
What?
High school graduates are paid very little, right? I heard it from Mom, that you only make about $30,000 a year. You've been working hard since you graduated from high school, but that's all you can make. I really feel sorry for people with low education.
You know why I only graduated from high school, and how can you say such a thing?
I didn't ask you to do it. Why don't you find someone to marry already? You're a high school graduate with a low income. Plus, you're single. You're dead. If you don't get married while you're still young, no one will take you.
Thanks for your concern, but I'm getting married soon.
What? What do you mean?
Actually, I'm getting married to the guy I've been together with, so I'm going to take this opportunity to move out of my parents' house. You've got through university and you've been able to earn a good income. And Mom is continuing to work at least part-time. You can manage to live on your own without me, right?
I didn't expect you to have a boyfriend.
But if you're marrying, it must be a guy of the same kind. Is he a high school graduate too? He has a university degree unlike me. We went to high school together and were supposed to go to university together. I was the only one who couldn't go to university, so we drifted apart. But we were connected as adults and started dating.
What? The same university? Does that mean he's from Harvard?
Yeah. He and I were the only one who got accepted. I really wanted to enjoy university life with him.
What does he do? If he graduated from Harvard, does that mean he's working for a very big company or something? Or a foreign company? Or in finance? What does he do?
He's just a doctor. His parents own a hospital. He's going to take over the hospital.
He's a son of a practitioner? Why would someone like that marry my sister? It's not fair for a high school graduate like you to get a rich man like that.
Education has nothing to do with marriage. Besides, why do you care who I marry? Anyways, that's why I'll be moving out of my parents' house in the near future. I won't be going home much after I get married, so please take care of Mom.
Olivia, give your sister that opportunity now. You don't deserve to marry the son of a practitioner. That marriage is only suitable for Harper.
Hey, Mom. What kind of nonsense are you talking about?
Oh, I'm serious. And I'm sure your fiancé would want to marry someone prettier anyway. Harper is cute and educated, and perfect girl for a practitioner's son. As a big sister, you want your sister to be happy, right?
Don't you want me to be happy? I gave up my university education to pay for Harper's tuition. And now you want me to give up my fiancé too? Why do I have to put up with this just because she's my sister?
Shut up. I don't care what you think. A daughter listens to her mother. I raised you this far, and I won't let you say that you've forgotten how much I've done for you.
Oh no.
In the first place, I don't like the fact that you decided to get married and leave without my permission. I need you to keep working for me. I just quit my part-time job. What's the point if you're going to leave?
What? What do you mean you quit your part-time job?
Harper finally graduated from university, got a job and settled down. We've been managing with your earnings and my part-time job, but I think it's time for me to be free. So I took the plunge and quit, thinking it would be an early retirement. Then I'm going to enjoy an elegant retirement with your money.
What?
And you little bastard, you decided to get married without my permission. You're going to continue to work for the family. That's what an eldest daughter is supposed to do. I won't allow you to have a rich life just by yourself.
What do you think I am, Mother? I'm used to you only loving my sister, but to try to take away my happiness too.
You're nothing more than an ATM. You're alive because I gave birth to you. Then you'll have to work for your parents for the rest of your life.
No way.
Oh, but if you beg your rich fiancé, I wonder if he'd send me a lot of money without depending on you. If that were the case, I wouldn't need you anymore. In that case, you're just a burden to me and I'd rather you get out of my house. You treat me like an ATM for years, and then ask me to leave when you're done with me.
Shut up. You're nothing to me. This is a mother's order. You give your sister your fiancé and everything else. And don't ever show your face in front of me again.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't need you anymore. And Harper needs to marry the son of a medical practitioner. How much money should I ask him to send me?
The only thing I agree to is not to show up in front of you again. I'm sorry, but I'm not letting my sister have my fiancé.
What?
I'm running out of patience. As you wish, I will never appear in front of you again. I'll cut ties with you people after I marry him. Please, don't ever be a part of my life again.
What's the matter with you? You suddenly snapped. You are a daughter and you're going to disobey your mother's orders? Do as you're told and give up your fiancé. Even if you get married anyway, you two are not a match from the start. A high school graduate with a low income like you married to a doctor will only end in divorce. That may be true. Unlike me, Olivia is a very brilliant woman. She might get fed up with me someday and ask me to divorce her. What? Who the hell are you? Nice to meet you, Olivia's mother. My name is Sam, and I'm marrying your daughter.
You mean you're her fiancé?
Oh, you're the son of a medical practitioner. I'm sorry to greet you like this. Olivia told me that a greeting was not necessary.
Oh dear. I'm sorry for my selfish daughter.
Maybe it's because she graduated from high school, but she has no common sense. But you know what? Compared to Olivia, her sister Harper is a very talented girl. I'm sure she'd be a good match for you, Sam. What do you mean? As a mother, I'm more proud of Harper. She's university educated, pretty, and above all, she's young. Once you meet her, I'm sure you'll love her too, Sam. Forget Olivia for the moment and meet Harper. I've met Harper before. She's a very indecent girl, and she was a total turn-off to me and all my classmates. What? What do you mean by turn-off? She's such a pretty girl and I'm very proud of her. I was forced to go to a day party before. Of course I reported to Olivia before I went, and Harper was one of the people I met at the party.
Oh, you met her at such a party.
She was indeed cute and young and very popular among the male members in the beginning. But her marriage appeal was too much. The men quickly distanced themselves from her.
What's wrong with that? That's the place to find a future marriage partner. What's wrong with appealing for marriage?
It's okay to talk about your desire to get married a little. But she was saying things like, "In the future, I want to live in a tower house here. I want to drive this luxury car. I want an allowance of at least $1,000 a month." If she talks about her marriage aspiration like that, it's natural for the men to lose interest. Oh no, she's so funny. That's why I was being a little mean. I asked her, in exchange for all that celebrity life, what can you do for the husband? You can do the housework and raise the kids perfectly, right? And her answer was so bad.
What?
She said,
I don't want to do the housework. I want to get 2 kids and let the older one do all the work.
What the heck? Everyone, including the men and other women, was stunned. But Harper didn't notice anything in the air. She was like,
"Did I say something funny?"
When she said,
"That's the way it is in my family,"
the atmosphere was completely frozen.
Oh no, Harper. How dare she say such a thing in front of other people?
That makes me sound like a lousy mother who throws everything to Olivia. That's actually true, isn't it? She's been carrying most of the household expenses since she was still a teenager. When we were studying for exams together, she used to complain to me about it. That she has a part-time job and that she's in charge of all the household chores in the house.
so she had to cut back on her sleep to get enough time to study. Oh, that's, Once we're married, I'll never let her see her again. I want her to end her life of self-sacrifice. I want her to be happy and bright, like the woman she is. And for that reason, I'm asking you to cut ties with her as of today. What? If you must contact her, please contact me. I'll leave you now.
Help, sis. Mom is saying all kinds of crazy things to me. She wants me to send money home every month from now on. She wants me to send $1,000 a month. You can do that, can't you? You have a university degree and a good job at a good company. You can afford to buy a high-brand bag. Compared to you, I do work for a good company, but to be honest, my monthly salary is normal. My income is about $2,000 a month, and the rent is $1,000. After utility and phone bills, I only have a few $100s left. Oh, really? I know you don't understand as a high school graduate, but just because I graduated from a university doesn't mean my salary is crazy good. But even for that, you have high-brand clothes. Not just bags, but earrings, clothes, all kinds of things you brag about. I buy all of those things by cutting back on my food expenses. I'm always going out with guys I met at the party or something. That's how I save on food to buy brand name clothes. Harper, you must have been cutting back a lot. But these days, all the guys I go out with for dinner leave me for some reason. They don't reply when I contact them. I've begged for gifts, but they never buy me anything. I can't afford to spend money home like that. You have to help me, sis. It is none of my business anymore. I'm happily married to him and I'll never go back to my parents' house again. What? You're already married? Take care of Mom. She was cold to me, but she was very kind to you. Think of it as repaying her kindness and try to support her. I can't do that. Please, don't give up on me. After that, Harper continued to ignore her mother's request for money. And when Mom ran out of patience, she stormed into Harper's workplace. In front of the company, she said, "Have you forgotten how much I have done to raise you this far? And what's wrong with the company that pays so little that my daughter can't even send money home?" She started shouting. The security guards took her away. Then Harper felt uncomfortable at work and resigned. In the end, Harper reluctantly returned to her parents' home. For the time being, she had to sell her luxury goods to make ends meet. However, when she tried to sell them, she found out that they were all fake. When they were told that the value of the item was 1 cent, they both collapsed on the spot.
Hey, Wendy, have you heard from Dad recently? No, but I've heard from Mom. She's losing her mind over him. What's he doing now? Still upset about the stupid Eagles losing the Super Bowl? What's he not upset about? He's fighting with Uncle Butchie again. He's fighting with the neighbors. He's fighting with this one. He's fighting with that one. Yeah, exactly. She's had it with him. Going on a vacation with Aunt Millie. They're leaving early tomorrow morning. Flying, I think. Where? Something about Niagara Falls. Who knows with them? Why they'd fly there is weird, but I was half paying attention. So now we're stuck with him. Our dad all alone in that house is not a very good idea. Oh, what do you mean, Quinn? You mean the old white guy left alone with a safe full of guns in a rapidly changing neighborhood isn't a good idea? Yeah, something like that. Oh well, it's not like either of us is going to babysit him. No, that's definitely not going to happen. And that only leaves, you know who. Our only living relative, Uncle Butchie, the one Dad hates. Yeah, I suppose you're right. They'd probably kill each other. Or maybe work out their differences. You know, like rats in a cage forced to work together to save resources. Or forced to eat each other. Hey, what about one of those rent-a-nurse services that you see ads for in the back of the city paper? Oh, Wendy, those are prostitutes. Oh, well, how should I know? You're the one who's an artist. So, because I'm an artist, I should know about prostitutes? Okay, so a nurse is out. I think we're screwed, sis. Well, he'll be okay, right? He's not crazy or demented. He's just an angry old man. Hopefully, the weather will be nice and he can just stand outside and wax his Corvette all day. Don't you dare let him hear you call it that. I know. Call it a stingray. Ugh, whatever. So I guess I'll go over there and check on him in the mornings before work. To make sure he's alive? No. Well, yeah, I guess. How about making sure he's eating his vegetables? No, that's your job, because you're going to be checking on him in the evenings. Oh, come on. Do I have to? Yes, we have to. If we aren't going to stay the night there, this is the least we can do for him. I'm not sure that it's the least we can do. Okay, look, Dad is a difficult man. He always was, but he was good to us. I do love him. Yeah, I guess I love him too, even though he is a cranky old bastard. But I think deep down he's a big softie, right? No. Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, well, let me know if the old man's croaked in the night. Oh my god, Quinn! Ugh. Hey, Dad, how are you doing this morning? Dad, are you there? Dad!
I'm here. Hold your dang horses. Sheesh. I can't work my phone like you young people can.
Sorry, it's just, well, Quinn has me paranoid is all.
Paranoid about what? That I'm going to keel over and die or something?
Well, no, just concerned with Mom being gone and all.
I can take care of myself. I was a bachelor for many years before I met your mother, you know.
Oh yes, I know. I've heard the stories. Your bachelor days.
Yep, that relatively brief period when everything seemed so possible. If only I could get back to that now, Wendy.
Back to what, Dad? A careless, carefree youth? You're 70, Dad. Isn't it a little too late for rebellion?
It's never gonna be too late for that. You kids don't know what a protest is. Back in the 60s, now that was a protest.
You're talking about the 1860s?
Hey, now don't you get smart with me too.
Too? Dad, who else is getting smart with you?
Everyone. Your mother, your Uncle Butchie, your sister.
My sister? What's Quinn doing to you?
It ain't her that's the problem, but it's what she inspires, you see.
No, I don't see. Would you care to explain?
Well, all these new neighborhood boys around here have little crushes on her, is what I'm saying. All these, well, you know what I mean, different boys.
Different? Different from what?
You know, us.
Oh, I see, Dad.
You see what?
You hate the way the neighborhood is changing, so you're going to claim that those Venezuelan boys across the street?
They're illegals!
And how do you even know that? Do you have some confirmation of this? Any proof?
You don't need proof when you've got instinct, Wendy, and I've got loads of that.
Well, just focus on being mad at Butchie. At least that's familiar.
Oh, to hell with Butchie.
What are you fighting about this time?
What do we always fight about? Everything. Our parents' funeral, that's what he wants to argue about. That he didn't get enough say in the planning. Well, they've been dead for over 25 years. Get over it already. Everybody else has moved on.
Dad, I'm a little bit worried about you. I'm going to come over to make you breakfast in a bit. Do you need anything special?
Oh, strawberry malted would be swell.
Strawberry malted? I'll try to scrounge up a time machine and get you one. In the meantime, just relax. Go work on the stingray or whatever.
Ah, good girl. You called it a stingray. You've learned much from your mistakes.
Yeah.
That should get my mind off of things, get me nice and relaxed.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm gonna head out to the driveway now. That's a brilliant idea, Wendy. You must get that from me.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Wait a minute.
What?
Oh my god. Wendy, my stingray, it's gone!
Hey, Wendy, are you going to be able to cover me tonight at Dad's or what? Again? Why do I have to do it? I have a life too, you know? I don't want to go over there again this week. Those kids are getting, a little bit intense. That little one especially. Oh, come on, babe. Angel? That little boy is so sweet. You don't know that. You don't know anything about him. He could have been sent by ancient forces to destroy me. I don't know. He just has a little crush on you. He's 10. I don't think you have anything to worry about. Yeah, I know that, but when I was there last night, he was waiting for me with a little bouquet of wildflowers. Aw, are you kidding? That's the sweetest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, I know, but what am I going to do with them, And how long is this going to go on? Sooner or later, he'll either grow out of it or move on to some other girl. Or find out that I like girls. Or that. Hey, maybe it was Angel who stole the stingray. Oh, come on. Yeah, he realized he could never have you, and in a fit of frustration and rage, stole your father's car. Very funny. Truth be told, his older brothers are some of the prime suspects. They and Dad have been warring all summer. Which ones are they again? Luis is 17, Javier is 16, Armando is 14. Oh, wow. And Dad is going up against that? Well, he thinks he is, but the retaliation has been months of water balloons and ding-dong ditches. Sounds like pretty harmless stuff. Yeah, but last week when they did the old bag of flaming dog poop on the porch routine, Dad stood on the porch and yelled out a racist epithet. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Dad. So that's a possible motive, but who Dad is blaming, of course, is Uncle Butchie. And why are they feuding this time? Was it the girlfriend Dad stole from Butchie in 8th grade? Or was Dad still upset that Butchie missed one of your dance recitals because he was in jail? Or maybe it was because their birthdays were just too close, or their mother hugged one more. Who knows? It's always the same with those two. So anyway, Butchie's supposed motive would be payback for something, I guess. Is there anyone else? Any other suspects? Well, Dad sure has pissed off a lot of people in this town over the years. Yeah, that's true. It could even be you or I. If it was you or I think you would be the one to do it. Me? Why me? You know, the free-floating artist, rebel type. Yeah, but that's exactly why you would do it, because you'd be the least suspect. I guess we'll see. No, we won't. I know neither of us want that car. Yeah, that's true.
Wendy, are you getting over here soon?
Yeah, I'll be over. Relax, Dad. Is everything okay?
These damn cops aren't returning my calls, and I need you to take me down to the station to talk to them.
We just talked to the detectives yesterday. I really think they are doing everything they can for us. They've been really helpful.
Oh, please, you call that being helpful? I wouldn't trust these jokers to detect their way out of a big paper bag.
I'm sure we're going to find the car, okay?
The stingray!
Right, the stingray.
It's just so frustrating, Wendy. Here I work my whole life just to get a little piece of security, have a nice stingray and a nice house, and then the neighborhood up and changes from under me.
Yes, Dad. Demos are changing.
Demos? What in the hell is a demo?
It's short for demographic. You know, those people that you say are changing your neighborhood.
Oh, so you're talking like one of them now, I see.
Dad, you can have your beliefs or whatever, but you simply cannot abuse people. Now, I don't know whether those boys took your car,
Stingray!
your stingray, or not, but you have to realize that your actions have consequences. You're 70 years old. I know that change is hard, but it's a fact of life.
You're going to lecture me about change, about consequences, about anything. I am your father, not the other way around, young lady.
No, I know I'm not your father.
Don't get smart with me. I'm old enough to know how the world works, and I'm old enough to know what's good for me in my neighborhood.
And you think screaming terrible names at children is good for the neighborhood?
They had it coming. Besides, I don't even think it was them anymore who did it.
Okay, then who do you think did?
That rotten dog of a brother of mine, Butchie.
So what's the topic of this week's argument, by the way? I've been meaning to ask you.
What do you think it is? The stingray, of course.
The stingray? Why the stingray? What does that have to do with him?
It has everything to do with him. He helped me pick the thing out way back in the day, back when we were actually getting along.
Wait, you two ever actually got along? I don't remember that ever happening at all.
Well, of course you don't. It's because it was long before you were born, or your sister even.
Right, I figured.
Well, he helped me pick it out, and I'm ashamed to admit this to you, Wendy. I was a different person back then. You have to understand that.
Okay, I won't judge you, I promise, Dad.
And you can't tell anybody about this, not your sister, not your mother. Even though she doesn't know about this, believe it or not.
Wow, really? Well, this must be juicy.
Now, if you're going to talk like that, I ain't gonna tell you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, I wanted that car real bad, but I couldn't afford it, you see. I was a good grand short.
Uh-huh, right.
But your Uncle Butchie, Mr. Bigwig, well, he could. So he came up from under me and was about to buy it himself.
Wow, sneaky move.
Yeah, so I went crying to your grandma about it. Like, really crying for real. Blubbering and everything. It was pathetic. And convinced everyone to make him loan me the money for it instead. So I got the stingray, And in his eyes, his stingray.
So you two have been fighting about that, and you think he stole it?
Well, it has to be the most obvious conclusion, don't it?
I suppose so.
You know what? To hell with it. I'm gonna go over to his trailer right now and confront him about this. I bet he's got it parked right out front.
No, he doesn't, Dad. We just drove past it yesterday, remember?
Yeah, well, he was probably out cruising then. Or he has it in a garage. Butchie's dumb, but he ain't that dumb.
I'll be over in a bit with some food, Dad. Just take it easy until then. Watch your Fox and Friends, or whatever. Or don't.
Ooh, hotcakes and sausage from McDonald's, a double order.
You don't deserve a double, but fine. Hey, Uncle Butchie. It's been a while.
Hey, Wendy. I'm sorry I haven't kept up. Dad and I were fighting at Christmas, so I wasn't invited over.
Yeah, what was that fight about again? Was it something about Christmas lights?
I can't remember.
Or something about him breaking the G.I. Joe you got one year?
Whatever.
You two are always fighting about something, aren't you?
Well, that's how he is. It ain't my fault. Certainly ain't my fault this time.
So what's going on this time? What are you two fighting about?
He knows why we're fighting.
Come on, you can tell me.
No, I can't actually. I've been sworn to secrecy. Scout's honor.
Sworn to secrecy by who?
By your dad, that's who.
Is it about the car?
What car? Whose car?
You know, the Stingray.
Oh, that car. Why should I care about that? I'm a Mustang guy.
Have you always been a Mustang guy?
Hell yeah, through and through.
Look, Uncle Butchie, you and I have always gotten along great, right? Quinn too.
Yeah, Quinn. How is she? I always loved Quinn. I always felt she took after me.
She's good, and yeah, she kind of did, for better or worse. But we really just need to know, for the sake of my dad's and the neighborhood's sanity, do you know where the Stingray is?
Oh, so you're gonna accuse me now too then, huh? Like father, like daughter.
What are you talking about?
Your father called me up this morning at about 3 a.m., drunker than a skunk, accusing me of this, accusing me of that.
What he did?
Yeah, luckily or unluckily, I was up drinking too, but I didn't even know the damn thing was stolen.
So you really don't know anything about it?
No, of course not. Why should I care about that old bucket of bolts?
Well, it's just that I heard that originally it was your car.
What?
Yeah, Uncle Butchie, Dad told me the story. It's okay.
He did he? When did he tell you about this?
Just earlier today, just a few hours ago.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. That thing was never mine.
Come on, Butchie, you can be honest. Dad told me the whole story.
There ain't no story to tell. Your father wanted the money for it, and I loaned it to him, and that Creighton never paid me back. That's why we're fighting. I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to think your father was a deadbeat.
Really? Because he told me something different. Much different.
Yeah, and I bet he swore you to secrecy then too, didn't he?
Yeah.
And you immediately betray him like this to his mortal enemy?
Do you really think you two are mortal enemies?
It doesn't matter. I would never betray my brother's confidence. Would you betray your sister? Obviously, you would be your father's.
Look, we just want to help our dad, okay?
No, you don't. You just want to control him. You must take after the maternal side. Goodbye, first niece.
Wait, Butchie! Hey, Quinn. Hey, Wendy. Did you get any weird texts from Butchie? Weird texts? I had a whole conversation with him. What did he send you? Just like, hey, your father better give me what's mine, or hey, that thing belongs to me. What's his? What's mine? What did he talk to you about? Quinn, I'm gonna be a totally bad person and betray Dad's confidence. Is that okay with you? Nothing has stopped you before. Why stop now? Well, Dad told me why he thinks that Butchie may have taken the car. Okay, why? Did he lose his virginity in the back seat or something? Okay, first, ew, and second, no. He said that he couldn't afford the car, so Butchie wanted to buy it, but then he went literally crying to Grandma over it until Butchie loaned him the money. Holy crap, Dad admitted that to you? If he admitted something like that, then there's no way it isn't true. Did you ask Butchie about it? He sniffed out the fact that Dad swore me to secrecy, so he stopped me before I could, but he clearly knows where I was going with it. He has a very strict code of loyalty. Even though he hates his brother, he'd never betray his confidence, and he was pretty disgusted with me for almost doing so. Yet you just did it with me? Yeah? So, this is all obviously insane, but do you think Butchie took the car, Stingray, whatever? Honestly, no. I don't think he'd touch another man's wheels, even if he felt they should be his. Plus, Butchie has a record. He doesn't want to go back to jail. That's very true. So what are we going to do? Well, I can't just placate Dad with hotcakes and sausage for much longer. Maybe you could just get him so fat that he'll be physically unable to fit in the Stingray, and he can just sell it to Butchie at a reduced price. No, that won't work. I don't have time to sit in the drive-thru every morning. You know, this is obviously all just a misunderstanding, if what you're telling me is right. Why don't we just get them together over a few beers and some steaks in the backyard? Let them talk it out. You really want to introduce alcohol in this situation? Again? Well, I don't know. Maybe a beer and not whatever they were on the other night. Well, we're obviously not inspired to come up with any better ideas, so I guess we'll have a cookout. So you're just going to invite Butchie and not tell Dad? I guess that would be the easiest way, except how am I going to get him to come to Dad's house? I don't know. Lie? Tell him that Dad wants to make up. This is a stupid plan. And you tell Dad that Butchie wants to make up. Come on, they'll both soften up. Okay, maybe, but that still leaves the car and Dad's war with the neighbor kids. They TP'd his house last night. What? Are you kidding? Yeah, now Dad's sleeping with his shotgun under the bed. This is insane. Between them and Butchie, Dad's going to frickin' shoot someone. There has to be some sort of a truce worked out between them or something. A truce? Like what? What does Dad have they could possibly want? Well, I could think of one thing. What are you talking about? Me? Just go be nice to Angel for a few minutes. That's bound to humanize our family. Have you ever heard of the if you feed them, they'll never leave philosophy? Oh, whatever. Come on, do it for the family. I'll talk to the older one and see what I can do. So when is this cookout? As soon as possible. Today, tonight, now. Now? Yeah, you better go buy the steaks and beer. Me? Just do it so we can get this over with. Quinn, where are you? I'm just hiding in the bathroom in the tub with the doors locked. What about you? In the bedroom closet. Can you see out the window? Are they still throwing steaks at each other? Beer cans now, but neighbor boys have gotten in on it too. What? The neighbor boys are throwing beer cans? Oh no, they're throwing water balloons. At each other, at Dad and Butchie, who are just ignoring them. Yeah, they're having a great time. Angel's on the sidelines laughing his butt off. So in hindsight, perhaps the beer wasn't a good idea then. Perhaps none of this was a good idea in hindsight. What even set them off? Did you even hear what he said? Oh, something about being a deadbeat, I don't know. And that was when Dad whacked him in the head with the A1 steak sauce bottle? Yep. So what should we do? Call the cops? Let them work it out between the two of them? All the guns are inside. Then why don't we just lock the doors so no one can get in and get one? Let them fight like men with fists and water balloons. I don't know, I don't want the neighbors calling the cops on them. Remember Butchie's record. All right. I guess I'll go out there and get the hose. Wait a minute. Quinn! Oh my god! What? What is it? It's the Stingray! It's coming down the street! Dad's Stingray? Are you sure? It's parked in the driveway! Oh my god, it's Mom! So, Mom, how was the trip? Oh, honey, your Aunt Millie and I had such a great time. We saw Niagara Falls, went over the border to Canada, stayed at some lovely bed and breakfasts. You would have loved it. I don't know. I don't really like road trips. Oh, come on. Yes, you do. I thought you were going to fly. What happened to flying? Fly to Niagara Falls? Honey, we live in Pennsylvania. You must be joking. So why didn't you just take your car or Aunt Millie's? Why did you take Dad's Stingray? Because, honestly, I was just so mad at him that I felt like it. He's been so crazy lately with those poor kids next door and your Uncle Butchie. But you didn't even bother to tell him? I did tell him. We left early and I left him a note. You should have seen Millie and I. We were laughing like girls. I expected an angry call in a couple hours when he got up, but nothing ever came. So what happened then? My guess is that he was so distracted with whatever's going on in that head of his that he probably either half read the note or threw it out entirely. Well, it caused a lot of serious problems. Yeah, but it solved some too. Guess who's speaking again? What, Dad and Butchie? Really? They both knocked each other out with those A1 bottles so hard that they can't even remember what they were fighting about. Wow, that's great, Mom. So they're going to be okay. Oh yeah, they're just fine. We have a moment of respite until they find something else. Well, I'm glad you had a good time, I guess. Oh, thanks, hon. You too. Huh? So, I thought they were flying to Niagara Falls. Oops, I must have heard wrong. Well, did you hear this? Butchie and Dad are getting along again. Yeah, I heard. That is until the concussions have worn off at least. I also heard the neighbor boys have been leaving Dad alone. What's up with that? Did you talk to them? Yeah, I talked to them. Okay, well, what happened? It doesn't matter. We worked something out. Oh, come on, tell me. You can't hold out on me after all this. Okay, fine. I agreed to have a juice box date with Angel on the corner tomorrow afternoon. Oh, a juice box date on the corner. Look at you. It's all very wholesome and innocent. Well, the neighborhood really is changing, isn't it? Yeah, and good riddance. You know, one of these days, Dad's not going to be around anymore. Oh, really? Is that how this works, Wendy? The whole life and death thing? You know he's never going to sell that Stingray car. It's going to go to one of us. I don't know. I think I have a better idea. The truce between the neighborhood boys and Wendy and Quinn's dad continued indefinitely, and much to Quinn's delight, Angel soon grew out of his crush. Uncle Butchie and their dad continued their hot and cold relationship, fighting on and off, although that year Butchie was invited to Thanksgiving and Christmas, but not Easter. 3 months later, Dad fell ill with COVID, and after one last reconciliation with his brother, he sadly but quickly passed. Wendy and Quinn drew up a contract with the boys, stating that they would take care of the Stingray just as their father would, drive sparingly, and agree that if they didn't, his ghost would be allowed to haunt them forever. They agreed. 7 years later, Angel drove it for the first time to take his date to the senior prom.